I'm standing on the ground at Berlin's famous Tempelhof airport. It's a place with a long and fascinating history. It was home to Nazi rallies, the famous Berlin airlift, and more recently it was a refugee camp. But right now, as you can probably hear, it's hosting the 10th round of the 2019 Formula E season. Formula E is still young, but already it has a lot of good things going for it. The cars look good, the driver lineup's strong, and the location speaks for itself. Berlin is an awesome city, and the season actually finishes in New York. Here's what a race weekend looks like from the inside, and a little bit of info on how the drivers and the cars operate. Let's start with the tyres. Michelin says the tyres it developed for the Formula E series are very similar to the ones you might put on your road car. So everything it's learnt from the pilot sport you see on the race weekend eventually ends up in the pilot sport you can put on the back of your Mustang. The wheel is an 18-inch wheel, and the teams are only allowed 2 sets of tyres for every weekend. They also use the same rubber whether it's hot, cold, wet, dry. There's no swaps or different compounds, it's just what you see is what you get. Sound complicated? It isn't. Here's over to Serge from Michelin to explain a little bit more.
This is a new tire we have developed for the Gen 2 car. The car are new, with more power also. The driver can use 2 sets of tires during the race weekend. So in the philosophy and Formula E Championship is, and generally for Michelin, is to be in competition that makes sense for the normal life and to learn and to transfer technology from the race tire to the street tires. And in Formula E we have a link which is very strong. First because it's, for example, an 18-inch tire, so it's this size. You can have this size on your car, basically. So the transfer could be very quick. It's a tread pattern tire. So in Formula E, you don't change tire when the weather is changing, and it's something very similar to the normal life also. And for example, in the next generation of Formula E tires, we got the same tread pattern than the Michelin Pilot Sport 4. So if you buy the Michelin Pilot Sport 4, you will have a cousin tire of Formula E with all the lessons learned from the first season of the championship. And we are clearly in this philosophy of using the race to learn quickly and to develop next generation of street tires with a better energy efficiency and with better performances.
Looks pretty cool, right? This is the 2nd generation Formula E car, and it's a huge step forward from the 1st gen. For one, it looks way meaner, which is obviously important, but it also now has a McLaren battery that'll last the whole race. That means no driver changes in the middle and no silly running around in the pits, just racing, which is what we want. The tub comes from Dallara in Italy, and the motors are good for 250 kilowatts in qualifying. They'll do 280 kilometers an hour flat out, but there's never really a straight long enough to actually stretch the car's legs that much. What's that like in practice? Over to the experts, the drivers, to find out.
It's quite a different car to drive. You have a different mentality in terms of engines, no downforce, you have road tires, the batteries that you need to save. I think this helps the overtaking, so it's really what the people want to see. And so at the end, I mean, it's a completely different mentality than most of the other championships. But I think it's fun, I think it's competitive, I think it's definitely a great championship to be part of it. And a lot of fights, as we could see today, and maybe even other races. So I'm enjoying to be part of it.
Race weekend at Formula One is quite a long, drawn-out affair. Formula E happens more quickly. The Berlin race weekend is 2 days, and it's designed to be like an action-packed festival of environmentally friendly speed. This street circuit is really tight, and there's 22 cars on the grid. The race is 45 minutes long, plus 1 lap, and there's lots of action. The track's just over to our right, but around here there's enough stuff to keep people who aren't interested in cars excited for days. We've got simulators, food, live music, dancing, all the essentials. And that's it for the round 10 of the Formula E Championship. Lucas Di Grassi from Audi took the win from Sebastian Buemi, but it's only 2:15 here and the action's not nearly done. We've still got Jaguar racing to go, along with a documentary directed by no other than Leonardo DiCaprio. Would we like more noise from the cars? We'd definitely like more noise from the cars, but there's some really good ideas out there and the racing is really tight. There's also big money from big manufacturers involved. This weekend has definitely proven that. Win on Sunday, sell on Monday doesn't seem to apply so much anymore, but race on Saturday, develop all the tech and put it in your next electric car. It's not catchy, but it kind of feels apt for what we've seen. In other words, check out Formula E, it's worth a look.